Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and anyone who has ever been scared of failing, let me start by saying something that might surprise you. Failure is the best thing that can ever happen to you. Yes, you heard me right. In fact, I sincerely hope that at some point in life, you fail badly, miserably, in the most embarrassing way possible. Because if you never fail, it means you never tried hard enough, you never pushed yourself beyond what was comfortable, and you never gave life the chance to truly shape you. Let's talk about falling. You see, the first thing we do when we enter this world is fall. A baby doesn't walk perfectly on the first try. The baby falls again and again, gets up, wobbles, falls some more, and then finally takes its first step. And what happens next? Applause, cheers, everyone around celebrates. But somewhere along the way, as we grow up, we stop celebrating falling, we start fearing it. We avoid risks because we are terrified of what will happen if we fail. We start playing it safe, and that is the biggest mistake of all. I have failed many times in my life. I have fallen flat on my face, both literally and metaphorically. When I first came to Mumbai, people told me I didn't look like a hero. They said, you don't have the height, you don't have the physique, and your hair looks like it was styled in a windstorm. But I didn't listen. I failed auditions, I was rejected, I was told I should stick to television. But I kept getting up, brushing myself off, and moving forward. And then, just when I thought I had made it, failure found me again. Some of my movies flopped. Some were disasters of epic proportions. People laughed at me. Critics said I was finished. I could have packed my bags and left, but I didn't. I had fallen, yes, but I wasn't going to stay down. You see, failure has a funny way of working. It feels like the end, but it is actually the beginning. It is life's way of testing how badly you want something. I'll tell you a secret. Every time I fail, I remind myself of one thing. Gravity exists. What goes up must come down. But the beautiful thing about gravity is that it also allows you to take flight. The only way you can truly fly is if you have known what it feels like to fall. Every successful person you admire today has fallen at some point. The difference is they didn't stay down. Failure teaches you lessons that success never can. Success is like a flattering friend. It tells you how amazing you are, how great your work is, how talented you have always been. But failure is the honest friend who tells you where you went wrong. Failure is the mirror that shows you your weaknesses, your blind spots, and the areas where you need to improve. It is a brutal teacher, but it is the best one you will ever have. When you fail, people will talk. They will judge you, mock you, and even celebrate your downfall. That's okay, let them, because their words don't define you, your actions do. The only thing you need to do after failing is stand up. That's it. Stand up one more time, then you fall and you will win. Now, here's the real magic. Once you have learned to fall, and once you have learned to get up, nothing in the world can stop you from flying. Falling makes you fearless. It makes you stronger. And when you finally take flight, you will soar higher than you ever imagined. I want you to remember something. If you are failing, it means you are trying. It means you are alive. It means you are chasing something that matters. So don't be afraid of falling. Fall, fail, but then get up, dust yourself off, spread your arms wide and fly, because the world belongs to those who dare to rise. Let me tell you something that the world will never tell you. Being practical is overrated. Yes, you heard me right. Everyone around you, from your teachers to your neighbors to that distant uncle who thinks he knows everything, will tell you to be realistic, to be sensible, to follow the well-trodden path. But let me ask you, who changed the world by being practical? Who made history by doing only what was expected of them? Nobody. Every great thing ever achieved was born out of madness. It was someone refusing to accept the way things were and deciding to dream beyond limits. Think about it. If the Wright brothers had been realistic, we wouldn't have airplanes. If scientists had stuck to what was practical, we wouldn't have reached the moon. If people had only done what was safe, what was certain, then love stories would have never been written, music would have never been composed, and cinema would have never been born. So today I am telling you, be mad. Be unapologetically, breathtakingly, fearlessly mad. Chase the dreams that make people raise their eyebrows. Believe in things that logic cannot explain. Dance in the middle of the street if you feel like it. Sing off key if the song moves you. Love recklessly without holding back, because madness is where magic begins. I know this because I was mad once. Actually, I still am. When I came to Mumbai, I had no plan. I didn't know anyone in the film industry. I had no godfather, no connections, no certainty of success. I just had this insane dream that one day people would know my name, that one day I would stand on a stage and entertain millions, that one day I would live a life so magical that it would feel like a movie. And guess what? It happened. Not because I was practical, not because I followed a blueprint, but because I was mad enough to believe it could happen. You see, there is a little spark inside all of us, a little fire that makes us believe that we are meant for something bigger. That fire is madness. But the world, in all its seriousness, tries to put it out. They will tell you dreams don't pay bills. Art is not a career. Be realistic. And if you listen to them, if you let their practicality infect you, you will spend your life living someone else's version of reality instead of creating your own. The truth is, magic doesn't happen to those who play it safe. It happens to those who dare to dream, to risk, to step outside the ordinary. Think about the greatest artists, the most brilliant inventors, the most unforgettable icons. They were all called crazy before they were called geniuses. People laughed at their ideas before they applauded them. I remember when I first started doing films, I was told that heroes don't have curly hair, that heroes don't stammer, that heroes must look a certain way, walk a certain way, be a certain way. But I refused to be what they expected. I danced on moving trains, I spread my arms in the middle of fields, I played a villain when everyone said I should only do romantic roles. And because I was mad enough to do what felt right to me, I found magic. So if you are sitting here today wondering whether you should follow your crazy dream, let me tell you, yes, do it, chase it, fight for it. Be the person who dares to think differently. Be the one who colors outside the lines, who refuses to fit into a mold. Be mad enough to believe that the impossible is possible. Because here's the thing, life isn't about playing it safe. It isn't about waking up, going to work, and waiting for weekends. It is about creating moments so beautiful that they feel unreal. It is about chasing sunsets, writing stories, making mistakes, and loving deeply. It is about believing in the kind of magic that logic cannot explain. So be mad, my friend, be magical, and never ever let the world convince you otherwise. If there is one thing I have learned after living, falling, rising, and running through mustard fields with my arms wide open, it is this: love is the only thing that truly matters. Everything else, success, fame, money, is just background music. Love is the real script. Love is the heart of every story. And if you are going to love, my friend, love like a Bollywood hero. Now, I don't mean just the kind of love where you run through an airport to stop the girl from boarding a flight, though if that moment comes, do it with full confidence. I mean love in the grandest, most unapologetic, most fearless way possible. Love like it's the climax of the biggest movie ever made. Love your family with all your heart. Tell your parents how much they mean to you, not just on their birthdays, but every single day. Hug your siblings even when they annoy you. Stand by your friends when they need you, even if they never say it out loud. Love isn't just about finding the one, it's about being there for the ones who already love you. But of course, let's talk about the love that makes hearts race and violins play in the background, the kind that makes you feel like the world has slowed down when that one special person walks into the room. Bollywood heroes love like there's no tomorrow. And that is exactly how you should love too. Love fearlessly, love without hesitation. In a world that teaches us to be cautious, to protect our hearts, to play it safe, choose to love anyway. Don't be afraid of heartbreak. Don't be afraid of rejection. Because, my friend, love is never wasted. Even if it doesn't last forever, even if it leaves you with tears instead of smiles, love is always worth it. Remember, a Bollywood hero never loves quietly. He loves with passion, with conviction, with poetry in his words and fire in his soul. He fights for love. He waits for love. He believes in love, even when the whole world tells him to move on. That is the kind of love I want you to have, not the love that is afraid, but the love that is unshakable. And when I say love like a Bollywood hero, I don't just mean in relationships. Love your dreams with the same madness. Love your work like it is the greatest love story ever told. Love your passion so deeply that the world can't help but take notice. Because when you love something that much, success is bound to follow. You see, the problem with today's world is that we have stopped believing in love. We hesitate, we calculate, we hold back. We love with conditions, with doubts. But love was never meant to be logical. It was never meant to be cautious. Love is meant to be the most beautiful, reckless, overwhelming, and soul-shaking thing in your life. Think of the greatest Bollywood romances. Raj waited for Simran on that train. Rahul stood in the rain and confessed his love. Veer wrote letters for years, believing that his love would reach Zara. It's not about grand gestures. It's about the belief that love is worth everything, that love is the greatest adventure you will ever embark upon. So love like that. Love like you are in a Yash Chopra film, where the world fades away when you see that special someone. Love with the innocence of a first love and the passion of a last one. Love in a way that makes life feel like a movie worth watching. And if you ever get your heart broken, don't be afraid to love again, because a Bollywood hero never stops believing in love. He stands in the rain, looks up at the sky and smiles, because he knows that the greatest love stories always have a happy ending, even if it's not the one you expected. So, my friend, if you must do one thing in this life, do this. Love with all your heart like a Bollywood hero.